It is for sure. I never thought I would be here, and I can't really think of many who would have ever guessed, me getting this opportunity. Besides my mom, my dad. It's crazy if you think about it. That's all that matters in this state, really. Especially, growing up and football being the dominant sport here and pretty much in the whole South. That's all that mattered was just the Iron Bowl. That was the biggest day of the year. Even when you were really young, 5 and 6, and didn't really know much, like you cared about the Iron Bowl. All your friends would come over. You'd watch that game. Normally you wouldn't care. You just go out and play football in the yard. But that game, you stayed in and watched the whole family, and it's just a big deal. There's a lot to think about. Put a lot of pressure on myself, but I'm not gonna let myself do that. I'm going to work hard, so I am ready for the moment. So I'm not scared, so I'm not nervous, so I'm not worried. Do is, expect to make big plays, expect to have a great day. That's just how I feel like you have to be. So, I've been dreaming about this exact game. Ever since I started caring about football, honestly, I dreamed about winning the Iron Bowl.
Just motivation. Everybody puts you down. It's just like. For me, I don't really. It makes me feel better when nobody's on my side. It's just better because it just gives you more to fight for.
Well, it is a big challenge because as a defensive football coach, that's your worst nightmare. A team that can run the ball on you because that's a headache that doesn't go away. In the past we've done a good job with that. We've had some bumps in the road in that regard this year, but it's a new week. It's a one-game season, and. They've got a great attack, and it's up to us to find a way to slow them down. I think they have a lot of balance. I think that they're very balanced. They can run the ball, and when you start adding people to the box to run the ball, their skilled people can run. They can be capable of making big plays, and then they ding you for instead of getting 8-yard to death or 6-yard to death, you get 50-yard to death. So they've got good balance.
We actually sat behind Auburn bench, and I was looking down onto the bench, as Auburn was falling apart kind of. And, you could see like the leaders, Cam and, Nick and the rest of the guys that had a lot to do with, the win. They was all on the sideline giving confident speeches to like the younger players saying, we down but we're not out. And you can see the look on their faces like it's not over. So they all went back out and they was battling. And then the fans, once the game started to turn around, everybody was like, it was so much talking and it was a lot of noise at first. But then when the game started to get real close, everybody was nervous and anxious to see what's going to happen next. It's kind of weird because once you go on a recruiting visit, you're not supposed to wear nothing of another team, and you don't supposed to say nothing negative. But I was on a visit to Alabama, and the whole time, I was kind of wanting Auburn to win. And when they was down, it's something just telling me that they were going to win. And it's kind of funny because me and my family was sitting there, and they all big Alabama fans, and they was just so pumped and just seeing what was going on. And we all just sitting there, and everybody else thinking the game was over. And here I am, like it's going to be totally different the second half. And I kind of wanted Auburn to win, but I can say I honestly never doubted them at all. Never. We would have basketball games. Like in high school, I would have basketball games on the day of the Iron Bowl, and I wouldn't go. Like we would literally cancel our games just to watch the Iron Bowl. If I was younger and I had a sporting event coming up, I would skip it just to watch the game. I actually started to work the games. I was selling programs, and I got to come to my first Iron Bowl like where I could see it. I remember Alabama had Kenneth Darby as their running back. It was kind of cool to see the game up close and personal. And now here I am playing in it, so it's kind of exciting for me and my family. It's basically they know ball. If you take a lot of guys that been around something for so long, and they got a good coaching staff, and if you teach somebody something for 4 years straight or 3 years straight, then I'm pretty sure they'll get comfortable with it, and they'll start it become natural. Kind of like high school ball, after a while it's become like second nature. So I feel like that's the way Alabama defense is going right now.
How many mental touchdowns do you think you've thrown against Alabama so far?
In my life,
Yeah.
probably over 1,000.
How many against Auburn?
Probably 5,000.